Hey, I'm Jonathan Downie for Life and Links, and I'm here with Fanny Chouc, one of our teaching fellows at Heriot-Watt, to talk a little bit more about the multilingual debate and what it involves from the teacher's side of things. So first, Fanny, can you tell me a bit more about the multilingual debate? What's it all about?
Well, the multilingual debate has its origins in the many conferences that students do every Thursday afternoon, and that has been the case, I think, since the course was created. But a number of years ago, more than 10 years ago certainly, it was decided that it was a shame that students only worked between themselves, and we started organising a public multilingual debate to give students a shot at the real thing, so that they interpret for an audience. And it's also a means to show high school pupils what you can do with languages.
So that kind of partly answers my next question, was what kind of people come to the multilingual debate?
In the audience we'll have high school pupils, and that's the first target of the multilingual debate. We want to reach out to pupils to show them what you can do with languages, but we'll also have pupils following the debate online, because it's going to be streamed live for the first time, and we'll have students from other universities who are interested in interpreting. And on the panel we will have a number of very distinguished guests. We have good relations with a number of consulates in Edinburgh, so we'll be welcoming the French consul, the German consul, the honorary Swiss consul, the Chinese consul for the first time, and representatives of the Spanish consulate as well. So it is part of a long-standing cooperation to promote languages.
That sounds like an incredible guest list and a lot of pressure for the students who will be interpreting. How does this conference help them?
Well, I think it's helpful in a sense because it gives them a taste for the real thing. I mean, I mentioned the cooperation with consulates, but we've also had MSPs, chief constables. It really all depends on the topics that are covered in these debates, but it gives students an opportunity to work under real life conditions and to feel the pressure that you feel in a real conference. So
would you say that the multilingual debate is very close to the kind of pressure that they would feel if they were working professionally at a conference?
Yes, certainly, and they will be working with the kind of equipment that professionals use on a daily basis, because all the equipment is kindly loaned to us by ILS, a professional translation and interpreting agency. So the booths that students will use, the interpreting consoles, are used on other days of the week by interpreters.
How do you feel about the event being streamed live on the internet to the entire world for the very first time?
Well, that certainly is quite stressful, and it is a challenge, because I don't think that, aside from the EU, any institution has ever attempted to stream a debate in several languages live, and I believe that we'll be streaming also a little video box with British Sign Language interpreting, so that certainly is a first. It's adding to the pressure, but I also think it is a very good opportunity. I certainly know that a number of our alumni are quite excited about it and intend to follow the debates just to remember their time in the booths.
So it's yet another first for Heriot-Watt in interpreting. Can you explain to me a bit more about your own role in the multilingual debate? What have you been doing towards it?
Well, I've got a different role in the morning debate and in the afternoon debate. The morning debate is a debate that I'll be chairing, so my role will be to introduce the speakers, keep everyone on time hopefully, and encourage a debate, because there's a question and answer session after the speeches. And in the afternoon I will be one of the speakers, so I'll be supporting my team, and hopefully we will convince the audience to vote according to the position we support.
So it sounds like an absolutely fantastic opportunity for people to practice their skills. Moving back down the chain a little bit, what advice would you have for pupils at maybe high school who are thinking about coming to study languages, or people who've already got a languages degree and are thinking of coming into translation and interpreting? What advice would you give them?
Well, I think that there are three main fields that potential interpreters need to think about. The first is command of their mother tongue. You know, it's very important to be very articulate, to really speak your own language perfectly. The second obvious point is having a very good understanding of the languages you work from. And the third element sort of ties in with the second point. Really follow what's happening in the news. Be aware of what's happening in your country, but also in France, for instance, if you're interpreting from French, because interpreting is very much about what happens today, you know, debates, issues, matters that are very topical, and good interpreters tend to be addicted to the news feed on their phones, or have a number of newspapers on their favourites on their computer. But it's what is really interesting about it as well. You know, you work with things that happen in the world, and yes, it's quite exciting.
And would you say that doing a degree course at somewhere like Heriot-Watt would be very good for developing their language skills?
Yes, certainly, because having good language skills is one thing, but it's not enough. As you will see during the debate, it takes quite a lot of skills to be able to listen to a speech in one language, interpret simultaneously, and also monitor what you're saying. There are a series of techniques you work on, and we're fortunate to have excellent equipment in Heriot-Watt. You know, our students will be interpreting in the booths live for the first time, but it certainly isn't their first time in a booth. They have spent quite a number of hours using this equipment in practice sessions. So if you want to become an interpreter, you really need to add to the skills I mentioned, the practical know-how, and you will only get that from an interpreting course.
Thank you very much. This is Jonathan Downie and Fanny Chouc for Life and Links signing off. Thank you.